For this section, we'll be talking about long division and synthetic division, which are two ways to divide polynomials. The first thing we're going to do, though, is a review of just long division involving constants, or just regular numbers. So we want to find 34 divided by 3 using long division. Okay, so remember with long division, the first step is to take the numerator and put it inside of a half box or a half rectangle, and then take the denominator and put it on the outside. From there, we want to see how many times the divisor or the denominator can go into the first number of the numerator or the value inside of the box. So we have 3 goes into 3 one time. And then from there, 1 times 3 is 3. So we multiply the number on top to the number on the outside, and then we subtract that result from the number on the inside. So we want to subtract 3 from 3, which leaves us with 0. And now we carry down the 4 and repeat this entire process. So again, we're going to see how many times 3 goes into 4. It can only go in one time, so we put the 1 up here. And now from here, we multiply that 1 by our 3, which gives us 3, and subtract. So 4 minus 3 gives us 1. But we no longer check how many times 3 can go into this number because we haven't brought anything new down. So this is just our remainder. So with remainders, you take your remainder value and you divide it by the number on the outside, or the number that was originally in the denominator, which is 3. So our answer is 11 1/3. So 34 divided by 3 is equivalent to 11 1/3. Okay, this process is going to work exactly the same for division of polynomials. It's going to look a little bit different, but it will be the same exact process. Check how many times the number on the outside goes into the number on the inside, Then put that number up top, multiply, subtract, repeat. So let's go ahead and try this here. We have x squared plus 4x plus 4 divided by x plus 2. So we'll put our x plus 2 on the outside. We're checking how many times it's going to go into x squared plus 4x plus 4. So the first thing we'll start off with is checking how many times x will go into x squared. We only care about the first number, or the largest exponent, that should be said. So we don't want to check x plus 2, just the x. The plus 2 will take care of itself in the next couple of steps. So we're going to divide x squared by x off to the side to show our work. When we do that, we're left with x. And now what did we always do when we divided the inside number by the number on the outside, meaning we checked how many times it'll go into it? We put the result on top. So we're going to put this x result on top. And now what did we always do next? We took the number on top and multiplied it to the number on the outside. So we're going to multiply that x times the entire x plus 2. When we do that, we're going to distribute the x, which gives us x squared plus 2x. And now what did we do whenever we multiplied the results? So when we multiplied the 1 and 3, we got 3, and we subtracted it. So we need to subtract this x squared plus 2x. So we get minus the quantity of x squared plus 2x. Distributing a negative with polynomials is the equivalent of subtracting the entire polynomial. So we get negative x squared minus 2x. I highly suggest doing this step rather than just subtracting the entire polynomial, because the most common mistake with these problems is forgetting to distribute that negative to every term. So now that we have the subtracted version of the polynomial, we'll put this up here, negative x squared minus 2x. And if you've done this properly, this process, then your first term should always cancel out. X squared minus x squared cancels. 4x minus 2x gives us 2x, and then plus 4. So now we're going to repeat the process just like we did before. We now check how many times x will go into 2x. So 2x divided by x gives us 2. That's going to go up top. But we're not just going to write x2, we're going to write x plus 2. And if it were a negative 2, we'd write x minus 2. And now what do we always do with the number up top? We multiply it to the value on the outside, so we get 2 times x plus 2, which when we distribute gives us 2x plus 4. And now once we multiply, our next step is always to subtract. So we subtract the entire 2x plus 4, which gives us negative 2x minus 4. So we're subtracting 2x minus 4. If we've done this right, the first term should cancel. 2x minus 2x does cancel. And then 4 minus 4 also cancels, leaving us with a remainder of 0. If you have a remainder of 0, that means it divided in evenly. So the answer is just x plus 2. X plus 2 times x plus 2 is x squared plus 4x plus 4. Okay, so this is a complicated process. It will take a lot of practice, but let's go ahead and try it with another example. We have 12x cubed minus 11x squared plus 8x minus 4 divided by 3x minus 2. I want you to take a moment, pause the video, see if you can't get through most of this problem, if not all of it. Alright, so let's try this together. We have 3x minus 2. We're checking how much it goes into 12x cubed minus 11x squared plus 8x minus 4. Remember, we always divide the first terms first, so we have 12x cubed divided by 3x, which gives us 4x squared. And we always put that value up top. That's how many times 3x can go into 12x cubed. And now we always take the number on top and multiply it to the number on the outside. So 4x squared times 3x minus 2. We'll distribute the 4x squared to get 12x cubed minus 8x squared. And now what do we always do after we multiply? We subtract. So we're going to distribute a negative to each term, which will give us negative 12x cubed plus 8x squared. Putting that up here, we have negative 12x cubed plus 8x squared. If we've done this right, the 12x cubed should cancel out, and it does. 12x cubed minus 12x cubed cancels. And negative 11x squared plus x squared gives us negative 3x squared plus 8x minus 4. And now we repeat the process. Negative 3x squared divided by 3x gives us negative x, which remember always goes up top. Then we take our negative x and multiply it to the value on the outside. That's 3x minus 2. When we distribute, we get negative 3x squared plus 2x. And now this negative 3x squared plus 2x, we have to subtract it. I know it's tempting not to subtract it because we already have a negative there, but you always have to subtract this result, which gives us positive 3x squared minus 2x. So plus 3x squared minus 2x gives us 6x minus 4. And now we just have to go through this one more time. We take 6x and divide it by 3x, which gives us 2. So we put a plus 2 on the top. Now we take that 2 and multiply it to the 3x minus 2 on the outside, which gives us 6x minus 4. And now we subtract that 6x minus 4. So minus times 6x minus 4. When we distribute that negative, we'll get negative 6x plus 4. So we have minus 6x plus 4, which when we combine these terms together, 6x minus 6x cancels out. Negative 4 plus 4 cancels out, leaving us with a remainder of 0. So our answer is 4x squared minus x plus 2. If the remainder were, for instance, 1, then we would put a plus 1 over this value on the outside, 3x minus 2. But there is no remainder, so we just leave it as it is.